wonder what the chats are like in Roblox. Do they get pretty wild?
Can you hear people in Roblox?
Dude, I bet it's wild there. Right?
All I'm saying, if it's anything Call of Duty, the people that are like talking to you, they're always kids. They're just cussing you out.
They always got a smoke detector beep in the background. There's a hot debate that is almost always roaring and raging around. And it is always about whether it's f***ed up or not. I said effed up or not. To have kids on social media without their permission.
Like posting them?
Because like,
That is rough.
if you raised them with a camera in the house, they never consented to it.
I believe children are like livestock. They're your property until 18.
That's what I think.
And then at 18, now they can own property.
Yeah, and they can go complain about it and all this shit,
Yeah.
but guess what?
But prior to that, it's like, earn your keep.
I think also, like, are you a public figure? Because if you're like on social media because you use the app, but it's like just your community of friends and family that follow you, or you have a private account, it's like.
No, I'm talking about the people who are bitching about this stuff are like complaining about influencers
Monetizing.
Every motherfucker that's bitching about this stuff, I wish they had Ryan's toys as their kid. And you make $30 million a year and see what the you do, you bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Ryan's Toys could buy a space station.
I'd be f***ing tired if Taika made $30 million a year.
Yeah, but then what if Taika, goes to university and some blue-haired person gets in his ear, and then he's coming home for Christmas time, and he's like, I think you guys kind of exploited me actually a little bit.
Yeah, it's like, well, how do you think you had a roof over your head? Shut the up.
Yeah, that's right.
I would have been like, you know who else was exploited? Shirley Temple. She's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
And you are too now.
Annie.
You're welcome.
Bam.
Household name forever.
Yeah, you pay me back.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, dude, Macaulay forever.
All the girlfriends you got, all that was because of me, dude.
There's more stuff coming out about Macaulay and how his dad was like fucking over his shit. Really? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, that was always the
financially. That was the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had no money.
Yeah.
I would have taken
Because he was
the
making
money.
like $8 million a fucking movie or some
Yeah.
shit back then as a kid in the 90s.
My question is, what's the difference between that and back in the day when you fucking had kids to pull potatoes out of your garden?
That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
Put that bitch to work. Everybody nowadays is like, we gotta preserve childhood.
That is a new concept, preserving childhood.
Yeah.
100 years ago, a kid's in a coal mine getting black lung. Fucking. Hell yeah. Yeah. They're pulling lithium out of the walls. They're like, we don't even know what we're going to do with this for another 100 years.
Back in the day, when you saw kids in overalls, that was because they were working.
Yeah, he's working. He gets black lung. Then he goes up from the elevator, smokes a cigarette with his dad.
And that fool got like that flashlight on his head too.
And he's 9 years old.
Yeah, that's a cool ass kid.
Is the whole point to not have to compare to like 100 years ago? Like,
No, because that was real work. This ain't shit. You got a fucking camera in your face and you're holding up what? Hey, try Nature's Basket or some shit.
So, out of genuine curiosity, what is what are like the long-term negatives that like kids have been? Because I mean, we've only had social media for like half a generation, right?
Yeah,
Like,
We don't know.
so
I feel like there's gonna be a fuck ton because I'm always looking at like these content creators that are just specific to kids channels, and all you see is kids doing kid shit. Like they're putting on little kid skits and shit. Like who's protecting these kids, right? Like who's like now we have laws in Hollywood that like you're supposed to have a break and
Like the unions.
the unions. But like these kids, we don't know what abuse is going on behind the scenes because it's such an independent thing.
And not to be like
I hope they are
pessimistic,
working
but,
12
like,
hours.
Not to be pessimistic, but like, remember even like that Nickelodeon shit just came out too? It's like, it's going to take a generation before like we see the repercussions. But then at the same time, like 100 years ago with the black lung, like, isn't it an extreme version of this always going to happen? Like you put rules in place.
So you're saying just let it happen.
Just let it happen.
No,
Let it go,
I'm
let it
saying-
go, let it ride.
I'm saying like no matter what, it's going to happen in extreme.
We don't know until we know.
Yeah. So it's like, how can you overgeneralize or hate on an entire culture without knowing?
It's hard to regulate,
I mean?
right? Because you don't know who's being exploited, and you don't know who's just doing it as a fun family project. And
Yeah, you don't know people's
Until-
intent either.
until the shit comes out, and you're like, oh, that was some abusive shit.
Because there are dads that plant a ton of potatoes for the kids to pull them out because he doesn't need potatoes and he's just doing Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Then there's other people that are straight up exploiting the kid and he's supposed to pull the potatoes, but then now his kid's pulling the potatoes, and he's reporting to his boss that he's the one doing it. So it's like the same actions, but the intent is way off. So I don't know. I really think it probably just depends on the intent of and the relationship between the kid and the parents is what's going to dictate the kind of trauma.
Which means that you can never overgeneralize on an idea because everybody's gonna have their own situation regardless. Which means you can't make rules, you know what I mean, that fully encapsulate an entire.
Unless it's fully breaking the law. That's the only time, right? And even then.
But what about in the scope of like public shaming, right? Which is obviously what everyone just does anyway. Is it a good point to just go like, hey, I think it's fucked up that you guys are like filming your kid? Like they don't really know that they're what the.
Well, what are they doing on content?
Just say they're in vlogs or some shit.
Yeah, I think that's fine if it's just like family vlogs or whatever. It just depends on
Like home movies.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, but if it's like you're cracking the whip, whoosh, and you're like, work, fucking kid, and you like, be happy on camera, bitch, you know? That's a different.
I think when there's like assumptions, I think that's kind of fucked up. But there was that one like channel we were like reviewing.
Oh, with the mom?
I forgot what it was, but they like somehow left a snippet, or you hear it in the back, and then they do talk to the kid like that. Or like, let's say over the course of time, you see this kid like lose weight all the time because they're not getting fed, because they're not. I think when you have like objective evidence, because I also do think on the other side where it is also the same annoying fucks that are complaining online that do help save lives at sometimes too.
Sometimes they're right.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes most of the time they're wrong, but sometimes they are right. So it's like,
yeah. Like sometimes they see something and they're like, that looks like abuse. I'm gonna investigate.
I'm gonna put my nose where it doesn't belong.
yeah, exactly.
I would argue that it's more harmful for kids to have access to social media and play around with it versus being recorded by parents. They don't have an account, they don't have a phone, and then it's just happening.
Right.
So like, because they don't even know that they exist online. They can't read the comments. So I don't know. But I do think the more harmful part is them consuming the content. Yeah.
And also, just on the other side of that too, just as much as like people sometimes are right, it's like if we're gonna talk about putting rules or like the idea of that culture, it's like the other side of that culture where people can go online and just call people out or like get into somebody else's business on their family and how they run like their social media or their kids or whatnot. It's like you should have your very communist Chinese social score as well, because if you like make 10 accusations and 9 of them are wrong, it's like you should also know like a Yelp review, like you're wrong 90% of the time. So you know what I'm saying? Because like when you get into other people's business, especially online, and you do social shaming and shit, it's like that gets into people's fucking family problems. Like the Allison case too, you know what I mean? Everybody just going ham real quick, and you don't know what a full story is until a full story comes out, but everybody can go online real quick and say what their piece is.
I mean, I wouldn't make a blanket rule as to like, no young people can be on social media until they're like 18.
Yeah.
Because then it's, I don't know, that's also weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Would you put a kid on social media? You might have a kid soon.
Like how young are they? I think if they're like
from baby moving on, like
I think if I'm like fully taking care, like they're 100% dependent on me type stuff, then I don't care if they're on social media, like in my social media, but I'm not using it to like sell kid products or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, until you start getting calls about it.
But if I'm making hella money, then I'm like, hey, look, 12% of my profits went to this kid's college fund.
Just 12?
88% went to my gambling problem.
Yeah. You have to gamble.
But I can be transparent. If I'm transparent, it's different because people respect transparency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what the actual thing is. People just respect the transparency.
Okay.
12% is pretty
like it.
generous, I think.
I think so.
Especially on a $60 trap hand.
But even then, case by case, like it really just fucking depends. Like Joe said, he's hella right. Like I'm way more concerned about the kid just consuming social media all the time.
That shit's scary.
That's a totally different thing.
What do you do about that?
So for us, Taika can only watch stuff when we're there.
Okay.
So he's not really watching anything alone. When it comes to YouTube, he's only watching kids' YouTube. But again, we have to be.
Yeah, he doesn't have full
listening
access
it.
to all apps and stuff.
He doesn't have the chat options at all. Because he plays Roblox a lot, and then that does have a chat option, so we turn all of that shit off. I have talked to him about, if, like, I'm like, anyone online that talks to you, because I mean, I don't know, I might not be able to catch everything. I'm like, you don't give them any information. They're not your friends, even though they say they're 6, because he's 6, right? Like, he's really gullible, so he's gonna believe everything. Like, these are all gonna be bad people. I might be doing something wrong here by saying everyone's out to fucking get you. I'm like, but everyone's out to fucking get you, so don't give any information. Don't use your real name. But for the most part, we're like right next to him whenever he is online.
What up, guys? Thank you for watching us for so long. If you like what we do, please support our Patreon. Joe, tell them what we have to offer.
So every week you get 2 videos. One never released director's cut, and another one too hot for YouTube, Patreon only. Every freaking week you get that. And you get access to our Discord where you can come chat with us.
And ask us questions that become episodes here, because we're gonna answer them and we're gonna take it seriously, and we wanna give you the responses that you want. So come stay connected with us, join our Patreon, click the description below for full details.
I wonder what the chats are like in Roblox. Do they get pretty wild?
If they're anything close to Call of Duty or League of Legends,
I'm sure they have like a regulator on there, right? You can't say certain curse words.
Can you hear people in Roblox?
Dude, I bet it's wild there, right?
all I'm saying, if it's anything Call of Duty, the people that are like talking to you, they're always kids that are just cussing you out.
They always got a smoke detector beeping in the background. Best shit, dude.
10-year-olds?
You hear dogs barking, you hear
Someone's got a fan blowing in the
hey, I told you 1,000 times. It's like you don't even know what they're talking
Baby
about.
crying.
League of Legends is like, I think, one of the most toxic communities like ever in like the history of gaming. Like the stuff that people say and do in those spaces, like, yeah, you never want your kids to be chatting. As a grown adult, you'll go home crying, man. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder what
Put you in your head.
Yeah.
So clearly with us, we don't mind putting Taika online, but now he's coming to the age where sometimes he's not. So he's a character, so he likes when the camera's on him, or he'll even say like, hey mom, get this. It can also be something that he was already born into, that he's conditioned now to like and accept. Who knows?
Has he ever said, get this, and then you guys film it and you're like, no, it's not.
Most of the time. He had
Always.
this one was eating shawarma the other day, and he like wanted me to take a picture of it, and I was like, all right. So I was like,
But there are times too, if he's having a bad day where he's like, I don't want to be on camera, and we're like, all right, cool, got it. You know, or if like we're talking about something, we're like, hey, Taika, say what you just told us. He's like, I don't want to share that. And we're like, all right, cool, moving on.
Joe would be like, get your ass back to work.
You see this bed? You think it fucking pays itself? Get back to work. Or if you don't, then hold the fucking camera.
yeah.
All the angles are all low.
Oh, I can't wait for new employees.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are people, like some of our friends that are like, they do conceal their kid's face, or they only put things up, you know, where it's like the profile of the kid, but they never fully show the kid's face. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I get it, like a privacy issue, or they're like, oh, they're now at the age where they're going to school, like a public school, and you know, someone has gone up to them and been like, hey, so-and-so, I know your parents, I follow your parents, you know, and for them, they're like, oh shit, that's really scary. So I'm like, okay, I get it. We're pretty chill when it comes to shit like that.
That's cool.
Yep. Nope.
How do you feel about it, Bart?
I guess the same, and I also feel like there's a lot of moving parts. Like when we first put Taika on social media, the nature of social media was a certain way, and then 7 years later it also evolves. So when we first got on Instagram, when all of us got on Instagram, it felt like a very I don't want to say honest, because I guess genuine and authentic platform. We're literally showing like, hey, I'm gonna go to Bloodsoul's barbecue, you know, and people are like, it's just people sharing their lives. And then now you have fully curated pages, branded pages. So it's kind of just like YouTube, where you went through that evolution where the original creators on YouTube, it felt very authentic, and then now you have people like purposely creating things, and they have marketing campaigns and all that stuff, so it feels different. So that's kind of also one of the reasons why we stopped posting on Taika's page, because in the beginning when we made his page, it was like social media felt like this, and then it felt like it evolved in a way where it was kind of different. And then
You have DraftKings sponsorship for a bit?
yeah, and in the beginning, we actually got a bunch of brand deals for Taika that we actually turned down, because we were like, you know what, like we do want to keep this as pure as possible. And in the minute you throw money into it, like then it's like, oh, he's not up for it right now. But then Pampers fucking said like to send us money.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
It just starts twisting and like biasing things in a weird way. So we're like, let's just keep all of that out of it. We'll keep it the way we want it, which is just sharing things and kind of treating it as like his own little journal, and we're documenting important parts in his life, and that's just kind of how we've always viewed it. Even with our vlogs, like we don't edit it in a way that monetizes really well. We don't, like we're not like professional about it. We just kind of what is this library of videos that we can make that when we look back 20 years later, like, oh cool, there's some really cool memories. So that's kind of our intent, and I think that's how he also views it too. Like, hey, we're in New York, check it out, and he'll talk about his experience in New York.
Yeah, we don't do like multiple takes. Like, fuck, you said it wrong. Fucking say it again. It's like one take.
Can it be cuter? Can it be cuter in this?
Yeah. Fucking look in the camera, bro. Like, it's never.
I would give anything for people to go to that page right now. And Tyka's like, "What's up, it's Tyka? Smash that fucking like, let's go."
He would say shit like that.
Really?
Well, because that's all he's consuming right now when he's watching all these other ones. So he would say shit like that.
I do know some people, some parents as well, that like blur out the kids' faces or don't post and stuff like that. Like, how do you guys feel about that? And usually their concerns come from like, after you watch those documentaries. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fucking scanning every digital version of your kid's face so that they can replicate it via AI and do all these weird things and shit. Like,
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. We have friends that do that. I mean, that's them. Well, I don't really care for shit like that.
Well, if you have friends like do that, do you guys take group pictures and they'll be like, oh, can you not post that?
No, because then we're pretty aware that they don't like it, so we just already know not to.
I wouldn't even take a group picture with their kid in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they're against it.
We did have.
Because I know. It's like eating with a vegetarian. I'm like, oh, I just won't even take you to a steakhouse. That's weird.
So something that did happen was, so he used to go to a private school, and then it was guard gated. So in order to get into this private school, you need to have like a special pass that they scan. It has like a barcode. And we did show that off on a vlog one time. We're like, fuck, this is no good. So then all we did was just change the pass, and then that was it.
Nice.
But he knows, like, if anyone, like, we talk to him about safety all the fucking time. So we're like, if someone says, hey, I know your parents or whatever, I'm like, if I never told you that this person's gonna come up to you or talk to you, I'm like, you do not talk to any strangers.
It's also very helpful being in a Second Amendment friendly state.
Yes.
Because then
California?
if people,
Tyga pulls out his guns and stuff.
because if people fuck around, then Tyka's gonna open his fucking Sonic the Hedgehog backpack, and there's a fully automatic
believe it.
weapon in there. And it's legal.
Hallelujah. He's gonna take those fucking glasses that they're using.
Where he goes like this.
Yep, that one. Yep.
Yeah, I've been thinking about monetizing my dogs.
Do you have their permission?
No, I don't need their permission, dude. I'm just gonna run a page for them, try to get some ads, try to maybe get some dog sponsorship.
When Nina was doing influencer stuff and we got an influencer deal through Merrick for our cats, I was like, dude, that saved me so much on fucking food for like half a year.
You got a brand deal for your.
We had a brand deal for our cats and it was awesome.
How come you don't continue?
Yeah, why'd you stop?
Because she started doing like her regular actual career stuff and stopped doing the influencer stuff, and I was like, damn it. But she makes more money, but I'm like, I have to pay for the cat food again.
Like, hey, since you have a real job, can you pay for the cat food? Or you could post more pictures.
Yeah, either or.
Dude, cat food ain't shit. The litter's where they fuck you. The litter.
Really?
Oh yeah, they fuck you so good on the litter. It's
I-
expensive. It's like $25 a
Just let them
a
shit
box.
wherever they want.
Why don't you just open a window and they can go outside?
Yeah.
And then they come back in like a doggy door. They got a kitty door.
My kids are too stupid. They wouldn't come back. They're
Oh,
too dumb. I don't trust them.
no kitty windows.
We should set up a play date for our cats.
I'm down.
Do you think they'll like each other?
Love it.
They would be crazy.
I never seen two stranger cats meet.
Yeah, that's
Well,
It's crazy,
weird.
yeah.
Because they're territorial as fuck.
That's
They would
weird.
absolutely hate it, but I love the idea of it because of that.
Maybe you should go to a neutral ground.
I like when I watch cats fight and you just see you see like a ball and the fucking fur's just flying out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Gio just thinks it's all a cartoon, I guess.
I
I like how they're fighting in the ball, and then one of them comes out of the ball and pulls the other one back into the ball, and then they're
Isn't that how it happens all the time?
It's exactly like that. Yeah, it's great. It's exactly like that. Thanks, Gio.